Russian troops came, destroyed everything, took our lives, and you can't say anything to them because they can shoot you.
There was no more fear. The fear had gone somewhere.
We would not have survived here for more than 2 months. Cars and tanks were coming here.
And who was moving in?
Russian troops. A Russian organized a corps de ballets on a tank, dancing. They were drunk. They were drinking and throwing bottles into my garden. And if you said a word to them, they could shoot you. When our soldiers drove them out of these pines, the Russians found themselves in the Borshive pines and began to water us with phosphorus. We started putting out the fire, and they started shooting. We didn't put it out. Everything burned down. Both the sheds and the house burned down.
When they water the territory with phosphorus, the dry grass, the wooden fence, everything burns. The iron burns. Here, we had a completely melted aluminum ladder that was on fire and melted. It was 3.5 meters long, completely melted to the ground. That's how big the fire was.
This is the gallery. This is the hall. My son's room was there, and then my bedroom was there. We also had a wood boiler. That's how we lived. Everything was there. The russists came and destroyed everything, took our lives.
Rachists put up TV antennas and pointed them at Kharkiv, at the road, or rather, here. And as soon as our military approached, when the Russians had already left, they started shooting at them. That is, there was a lighthouse there. Well, we told our military, and they removed it. Of course, not immediately, but they removed it. And there were cameras on the other side. You could see them. They were white. It was clear that they came in the winter. They thought they would finish in the winter, but it didn't work out. They could see us very well from all sides, so we could not make any unnecessary movements.
If there were no Russians, of course, people would live here. People from Kharkiv used to come here to the pines, relax, go to the river. People would come and relax, and it was wonderful. In general, we have a very nice place here, fresh air. And the Russian troops came and mocked us, destroyed the forest. Oh, I found the key to the room, Sasha. We are slowly finding something valuable. The windows were good. They put in such big windows. Everything was there. What vermin. They probably have no parents, no children, no one. Let it all come back to them.
There was just such contempt for the Russians, and there was no longer any fear. The fear had gone somewhere.
This is where we were sitting. No, the basement is not equipped at all. It could easily collapse. A neighbor's basement was destroyed. It was damp and cold, and you couldn't sit here for long, maybe half an hour. We sat in the water when it was raining because it was damp. A shed was built above us, which was above the cellar. And when the barn burned down, water came out of the ceiling. You can see the ceiling here. We would not have survived here for more than 2 months. You could definitely get sick in the basement. This is the house where we live now. Before the war, there was a gas stove here, and now we made a table, pulled it out of the ruins. There is a small stove here. I cook when it rains, and when it doesn't rain, I cook outside. There was firewood. These were damaged and broken trees. We broke branches and burned them. But of course, they didn't let us cook for long. As soon as I started to heat the stove, they started shooting. We managed to save the water. Everything here was covered with bricks. I thought, is there really water here? And our well was demolished. There was a well on the street. It was blown up. We dug up boxes in Russian trenches, in pine trees to make a fence, or for firewood. We used burnt sticks for firewood. You can't go far into the pines. You have to walk along the edge, and in winter, we don't know where to get firewood. There is nowhere to store it. It has to be dry, and we have no place to store it.
Now, the sappers come and say, you must walk carefully, but we are walking. We don't care anymore. Our lives have already been burned here.